Hello everybody, Zen here bringing you more patch 2.0 content on the PTS. This is all pre-recorded footage and we are in hard mode Scum and Villainy again. This time we're showing you Thrasher, which is the third boss. Now you shouldn't take any of this video as a guide because of two reasons. One, it's probably going to change the fight that is by the time it's actually released. And two, because we're probably not doing it as efficiently as we should. But there are a few differences you need to know about. So he still has all of his normal abilities that he does in story mode. He has that knockback that he just did there, which is a tank swap. The other tank has to taunt and be in range, because if the tank isn't in range, he'll do an AoE pulse. It'll do a ton of damage to the group, right? So that's the story mode thing. Then the other thing that remains is the fact that there's still the guy on the bottom who will target a random guy, random raid member, and run to them. They have a little blue reticule underneath them. They have to run to the side of the room, drop the fire that the guy leaves when he blows up, and just kind of keep it away from the raid. That's the best way to think about it. The other thing that continues to happen from story mode is these ads will spawn. What makes it a bit different is that I think there are slightly more from them. I could be wrong on that. And the fact that you have to kill them within a certain amount of time because they will enrage. And if they enrage, then they do a ton of damage to the group by spawning two turrets, which isn't good. So there's a few ways you could probably take care of this, right? You can't shoot them with ranged. They have a shield on them. So what ends up happening is that all the damage just gets absorbed. There is one guy you could shoot, but the snipers you can't shoot with ranged unless they get out of their little cover that they're in. And you could do this by stunning him and whatnot when you're up there, but for the most part, you can only charge to at least one of them. So you have a melee DPS if you need to, charge up, or you can do what I'm doing here. So I'm pointing my back at the wall, and I'm getting knocked up to help these guys, because I can taunt these, and there's little health packs that'll spawn against the wall that you can get. So if you're tanking them, you can heal yourself up real quick. But you want to just burn these guys down as fast as possible. We found the most efficient way was with our 2 melee that we have in our group, and then me, or the other tank when he gets knocked up. So that's kind of our way of handling the ads. There's a few other things you could do. You can have someone get up there. Say you have like a Juggernaut DPS, or something like that. You can have someone be up there, and then they could charge to him. You could get an Inquisitor up there, and you can yank somebody up, because what you want to do is those 2 people that we have up there just remain up there for the entire fight. If they have to run across the room to get to the other wall, like say if it spawns on the direct opposite wall of what they're at, instead of running all the way around the room, they'll just run right through the middle and jump up. So that's another way of doing it. And it's a bit kind of glitchy, which is something BioWare needs to fix at the moment, which is you can charge the target, but sometimes it won't let you. It'll say like it's not in line of sight, but you can clearly see them and everything. So that needs to be fixed. But for the most part, you just got to get a couple people up there. 2 people is fine. 1 really good DPS is even better. The boss dies fairly quickly, so it's not that big of a deal. And the tanks get a buff. I don't know if this is on story mode, because I don't remember it, but the tanks get a buff that make them do a little bit more damage, which is why we're getting ourselves knocked up here to take out the ads, because it's just easier that way. Plus we can tank them, so that way the boss isn't hitting our melee DPS and doing a ton of damage to them. So make sure your DPS are standing on the side of the wall, kind of like what we're doing here, and that way you can still get heals and stuff. But for the most part, you could just switch them out one after another, the DPS that are up there with the health packs against the wall. So that's an easy way of taking care of that. Other than that, it's a pretty easy fight. It's way more entertaining on hard mode than it is on story mode, which is good because they needed to fix that. It was pretty terrible. And you're going to have to come up with some way to get 2 guys up there. Get creative, use all the different abilities you have. You have multiple abilities. Heck, you could even just throw 2 people in front of the boss at the beginning of the fight, right after the ad comes out, and they could get knocked up on the wall and then just stay up there. So that's another way of doing it. It's not like you're completely gimped based on your group composition. It just makes it a little harder if you don't have melee DPS or an easier way of doing it. But as you see there, we managed to take him down quite easily. Make sure you kill the ads afterwards. It only took us A handful of tries, actually. We were going to kill it the try before, but we wiped it at 1% on purpose because I wasn't recording. I wasn't expecting for us to get that close to killing it. So it's not that difficult, but at the same time, it's more fun, and I like it. It's more chaotic. If you have an organized group like we do, you'll be able to take it no problem. If you have like a pug group, probably not. It'll be a bit more work. But the loot from him isn't crazy exciting or anything. However, if you want to see it anyways, I will show you here as we switch ahead, waiting for our DPS. There you go, earpiece, one of the crafting materials, and then a belt. So that's what you could possibly get out of Thrasher, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you even more hard mode content. Next up is the operations guy with the splitting of the group, and that is a fun fight to explain. So look forward to that tomorrow. But on that note, we'll see you guys next time.